The OnePlus X is possibly the nicest looking phone to have come from the Chinese startup so far. The OnePlus 2 mirrored the OnePlus One quite closely, but the X has gone down a different path. The OnePlus X features a glass back that looks great, at least until you start putting your hands on it. After using the phone for a few minutes, the back was covered in my grubby marks. Although the back looks slippery, in use it always stayed safely in my hand. Behind the glass sits the OnePlus logo that always turns heads of smartphone fans in the pub. The rounded corners at the edge of the screen remind me of the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6s, but I don't think they'd be particularly hardy. Black bezels sit across the top and bottom of the screen, and the capacitive back, home and list keys run along the bottom next to the microphone. On the top bezel is the front-facing camera, earpiece and a little LED notification light in the top right. The edges of the OnePlus X are strange. OnePlus has opted for metal around the outside that feels more premium than the OnePlus 2, but it's a rough texture all the way around as well. When I first picked up the phone I wasn't impressed with this, but I've grown to really like this while using the OnePlus X. Here's where the OnePlus X starts to fall down. OnePlus has opted for an older chipset than in the OnePlus 2, installing the Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 in the OnePlus X. While it's an older chipset it should still be capable of impressive things. This is what powered the stellar HTC One M8 after all. But I've encountered performance issues with the OnePlus X. I've put the OnePlus X through some intensive gaming tests as well. I played the graphically intensive Asphalt 8 racing game on the OnePlus X and it handled itself pretty well to start with, but buckled under the pressure after a while. The OnePlus X comes with 2525 mAh non-removable battery. We were not terribly impressed with the battery as it did not last much behind the 8-hour workday. On a regular day starting off with a fully charged phone at 8 AM, and using it throughout the workday would leave us with around 10–15% battery by 5 PM. If it was a heavy work day which involved lot of live tweeting, then we would run out of juice by 4 PM itself. It charges quickly enough, but it would have been nice to see OnePlus include fast charging. Once you've used fast charging on a phone it's difficult to go back to the regular version. Phone calls sounded clear on the OnePlus X, and I didn't have any complaints from people I was talking to. The active noise cancellation within the mic probably helps here. Like the OnePlus 2, the OnePlus X doesn't come with NFC, something that was included in the OnePlus One. This is unfortunate, as Android Pay is about to kick off in a big way, and if you have either of these phones you won't be able to use it. Security-wise there's no fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus X. That's one feature you'd expect to be dropped at this price point though, and there are plenty of other security options on the OnePlus X to make up for it. You've got the choice of a swipe, pattern, PIN or password lock for your phone. If you do feel the need for a fingerprint sensor though, then it's worth upgrading to the OnePlus 2. It's a good, secure way of unlocking your phone. The speakers on the OnePlus X sit at the bottom of the phone, and they're pretty impressive. Storage-wise OnePlus has upped its game with the X. There is only a 16GB version of the phone and I filled this up quite quickly, but this is expandable with a microSD card. Usually when a company releases a cheaper handset, the first thing to take a knock is the camera sensor. The OnePlus X, however, comes with a 13MP shooter that's just as many pixels as we have seen on several high-end phones, and the camera has a resolution of 4128 by 3096. That OnePlus can afford to include such a strong sensor in the OnePlus X is hugely impressive. The OnePlus X's camera is great for daytime shots. The high resolution is evident, and my test images had fantastic clarity. You really wouldn't think you were using what's essentially a budget handset. The OnePlus X camera really falls down at night though. As soon as the natural light starts to fade, the camera struggles, and even the pixel definition drops right down. There's a flash, but that's not going to help with landscape shots. OnePlus clearly wants to up its selfie game, and it's going the right way about it. I personally haven't used a phone with this quality of camera on the front before. All in all, the OnePlus X has an impressive camera considering the price point of the phone.